Hello, hello, and welcome. I am Olga Vonchina, a certified life coach specialized in personal branding. I work with new coaches, helping them craft their core brand messages so they can start showing up and marketing themselves with confidence. Now, when we're talking about starting out with our coaching business, there are quite some challenges, especially around setting up all of those business foundations and establishing an online presence. But what coaches most often focus on in the first place is marketing. We rush to start marketing ourselves, which is normal because we all want to get paying clients, right? But this is where so many new coaches get stuck. The common advice is just start showing up, just talk to people, tell them you are a life coach. So, what most of us decide to do is creating profiles on social media to start posting in hopes for creating some organic traffic. We think that we need to post multiple times a day, giving away tons of value and stand out to be noticed and to please algorithms. But very often we end up running out of energy and ideas for posting. So we do what others do. We give advices, maybe copy and paste some motivational stuff, try to explain our methods. Or we share some stuff from our personal life which doesn't feel very well. Now, do you often find yourself staring at the screen and not knowing what to write for the next post? Having no idea what kind of content actually turns people on? Are you afraid to sound like selly and pushy? Well, that drains your energy, but gives you only poor, if any, results at all. When we find ourselves in a situation like that, it's very difficult to keep it consistent. We skip one day and then another, and then the whole week, and that's the way that things go. We procrastinate and blame marketing to be hard and exhausting. And we're doubting ourselves that we'll ever be able to master it. But at the end of the day, chances are that it's not just marketing to blame. It's also us, lacking the clarity and words around all our core brand messages. Who are you talking to? What is their most persistent problem? Are you offering them some advice or straightforward, actionable steps towards the real solution? Do you know exactly what are the messages that you want to communicate? And can you communicate them with certainty and conviction? The thing is that when you have no message, you have no certainty. And without certainty, you don't show up. You need to know what you're talking about in order to show up with certainty and to build rapport and trust. We want to create strategic content that moves people into selling themselves. We want to talk to prospects who are ready to buy because they already know they need to solve their persisting problem. No convincing needed. And we want to position ourselves as someone who has a clear solution and who can effectively help them. And this is why I have put together this training where I'm showing you how to nail down your messages so that they speak to your best clients' hell yes desires. Immediately makes them interested in working with you and allows them for quick decisions. So I suggest we dive in right away. Now, let's start with your niche. Who is your ideal client? Can you state your niche one-liner in the form of I want to help blank with blank so that they can blank. What are their characteristics? Who are those people? How can you describe them? What separates them from the crowd? Don't focus just on their gender, age, profession, maybe their current role, like being a mom, an entrepreneur. Can you be more specific? Are those women with diabetes type 2? Are those single moms of teenagers? Coaches who want to scale their business to 20K per month? Now let's go deeper. Who among them are high intent clients? They say that there are only 10% of leads in your audience that are actually ready to buy now. And you only want to work with them, right? Who are they? What are their characteristics? How are they different from the average ideal client? Do they have a specific challenge that creates a feeling of urgency for them? They know exactly what result they are looking for, and they are willing to pay to someone who would offer them a clear solution. What is it that your high intent clients struggle most with? Where do they get stuck? What are they losing their sleep over? What are the symptoms? How does that show up in their everyday life? What are their words and expressions to describe their struggle when they're talking, like, let's say, to their best friend? They are actively looking for a solution. They're browsing the internet, reading books, looking for advice. What do they think they need to do? What are their false beliefs? Something they are convinced they need to do based on their research. And then what they tried already, but nothing worked for them. Why? What is the missing piece? You know it because you're a subject matter expert and you can diagnose it for them. They just can't see it themselves because they lack clarity. They don't know what they don't know. They are overwhelmed and stressed in their current situation. What do they desire most in the world? If there was a magic wand that could change anything for them, what would that be? What are their hell yes desires? And not those like nice to have. When they will finally overcome their biggest challenge, what will happen? What will they have that they can't have now? What is the high value outcome that they desire? This is something that you can provide it for them, something that you do, and you can help them with that. How different will be their life after working with you? Where do they want to be in 6 months? What's the happy ending? What is your innovative advantage? How do you solve problems differently than anybody else? How do you explain what stands between them and what they really want? How do you bridge their current situation with their desired one? What new beliefs do they need to adapt in order to be able to take action? And how do you shift those beliefs for them? How do you create that aha moment? What would you need to say that would immediately make them interested in working with you? Please pay attention that you are using the real talk and not the coachy language. Use their words and expressions. And finally, think of how will they feel after working with you. We call that emotional finisher because that's what ultimately leads to making a buying decision. How will their life be different? What will they finally have or be able to do? Picture this brighter future for them and how easier and better their life will be. Okay, so these are the questions that I prepared for you today. Going through them gives you a deeper understanding of your client's needs and desires. Why is this so important? Because it's what makes your messaging effective. It allows you for speaking directly to your high intent leads by showing them that you're the only answer to their prayers and by calling out their feelings, thoughts, and inner dialogue. Answers to those questions create a communication framework for you, so you always know what you want to communicate. All you have to do next is to find ways to tell those messages from different angles. You can find a workbook somewhere here with those questions, so you can download it and use it each time you're about to start creating the next piece of content. So I really hope this will be helpful for you, so you'll be able to create high value resources that give real solutions and actionable steps for your future clients. I also prepared for you some tips around how to structure every piece of content to make it effective and to make sure that whatever you put out there really adds value, not just volume. Hopefully, this gives you direction, courage, and eagerness to start creating content and to keep doing it, because that's the best way to become good at it. You'll get better and better with every piece of content. If you still find it hard to answer those questions, come to work with me in one-on-one coaching intensive. You can bring your workbook so we take a look at it together and see how we can improve your messages. Book a free call with me and let's see where you get stuck and what we can do about it. Sometimes you only need to tweak it a little bit and it makes all the difference. But you need another pair of eyes to find out what it really needs to be changed. So this is what I prepared for you today. Thank you for watching. I'm wishing you all the success with crafting your messages, and don't hesitate to book a free call with me when you find yourself stuck. Have a beautiful day and goodbye.